Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of X4 the War Campaign, and there has been tons done, but I want to give a bit of an update because there's things happening that I don't really want missing, and I don't want to have too much to explain on my next big episode on stuff to do. So here we go, without further ado. Now there's still loads to be done, which is why we're not having like a setup of fleets and stuff like that. But first of all, let's start off with our main attraction, which was our trading station. Now the trading station has changed somewhat. I actually went out and got the Talari E-Dock because I got sick of the T-Docks. So I changed it over to these lovely E-Docks here. And you can see why they are so much better. I've got one on either side. This is where we had the initial pre-built stuff done when I left it running for a little bit. And then I changed it all around and it's basically just rebuilt the whole thing. I've made some extensions. So there's now more storage being built on top of these here. The main actual part of the station is pretty much finished. It's still got a few more bits to do here. We've got two more docks, obviously the drop downs for the docks to do, and these medium docks here be finished, and then it'll finish doing these large storage containers. Now whilst it's building, it tends not to trade very much, so I'm hoping it'll get going soon. As you can see, we've set everything up. I remembered what I did wrong. If you go to select trade words, you need to make sure you press the confirm button at the bottom and everything will appear. So that's everything that this station can trade. As you can see, I've already filled it up with energy cells. You can see it's actually selling energy cells already, which is great. It is kind of getting it going, which is brilliant. Now, why is there so much in there? Well, I decided it was now time to move over to the large and extra large ships. As you can see, I am building some more here. Now, these are just the standard ones here. I think they're on low or medium preset for the newer ones, but you can see I've got a couple about. Because obviously, with the time it's taken to do that, my ship factory here actually made quite a bit of money. So if we have a look and see now, you can see I emptied that, and it's already at 12.5 million. It is struggling at the moment for hull parts, so I've got one of the large ships heading over here, filling up with some hull parts as well, because I did make some changes. So if we head over to the plan build, you'll now see that there's a big gap in the middle here, kind of a big gap. If I go to production modules, you see there are no hull parts. There's basically nothing that is required from ore, so no hull parts, there's no energy production. It's just, we've moved away from that now, because obviously everything else is being provided by the other ship stations that we've done. This will obviously disappear at some stage. I will probably keep something here. I'm not sure what yet. I'm going to completely redesign it. It'll lose the two small medium ship fabrication bays, because they'll obviously be replaced by the shipyard that we had built. Now the shipyard needs a bit of work, but it is actually technically operational. Our two defense platforms are in position. And if we go to our plan build, you'll see it's almost ready. Now this is excessive in terms of shipbuilding facilities, but I wanted to be able to crank out tons of ships at any one stage, because we're going to have a massive fleet, and hopefully I can get you some in-cockpit action very soon as well. I decided to go out and grab myself a joystick so we can get a little bit of better flight, because mouse and keyboard flight isn't the best. You can still do it. I've shown you how to do it in my beginner's guide, but for me, preferably, I'd rather use the joystick. Now, this has still got one of the old T-Docks, TPO docks, so that obviously needs changing. It's got a couple of habitats there, so once it is up and operational, obviously it's still got these storage containers and defense grid here to be built, and obviously these here. Now these are very expensive to build. They take a fair amount of resources. You can see, look at that, 12,000 hull parts, 6,000 energy credits and energy cells, and 3,000 Claytronics. The Claytronics is the killer, because we're obviously not producing Claytronics at the moment. That's something we definitely want to look at, but I have pumped in as much as possible, and you can see here we've got plenty more on its way. We're providing it with our own hull parts, but we're obviously fighting a downhill battle at the moment with hull parts. So that's the two major changes in terms of our stations. However, there are a few other things that have changed. I've done a bit of scouting around. I'll just close this down for a second. So we're actually starting to open up areas that we didn't have earlier on. We're starting to get a bit of a better picture of how the war's going. Now, I did try and get the ZYA there to be friendly with us, but for some reason they kept attacking us, so I've pulled back out of there. There's a couple of areas here. There's one here for them there. We have been friendly with the FRF, so they will trade with us, which is good. So we'll hopefully get a bit of a reputation with them. However, they don't have, or so far I haven't seen, a shipyard of any sorts with this faction, but I'd imagine they will have one somewhere because they are building ships. Now they may be buying ships from somewhere else, but we'll have a keep looking there. You can see we've got the Hall of Judgment there. There's an accelerator there that I haven't scouted actually. Let's go ahead and remove all orders, and let's go and get him to explore the accelerator. That'll be another section there to add to it. Now I want to really get friendly with the split factions because I want some of their ships. What else have we done? We've got a few bit of a clear out here with these ships. Now we're still using the small and medium ships that we had previously. As you can see, they're still spread out, but they're spread out more now because obviously we're reaching more areas with our stations and stuff like that. Tharkas Cascade, if you remember, this was a red section. My station's still there. I made a couple of adjustments here with some missiles. It's just saving, so I'll discuss it while it's saving. So yeah, I made a couple of adjustments here. Basically, these two extra pieces here are both pure missile missile platforms, targeted at taking out any ship that gets in the range of it. They've got tracking missiles as well, so they're pretty decent. But yeah, I was sat there defending it. We had a couple of the eye destroyers coming over again, and they're massive things. And the station it took a pounding, but we managed to keep it up and running with enough resources to keep it repaired. The fleet was behind it, so the fleet moved in when they pushed. And then it all went quiet for a while. Now, the Argonne have purchased a lot of ships from me, which is where I got most of the money from to buy the large trading ships, and they pushed the Xenon, and they actually took out the platform that was in this zone here that we were going to target. And because I already had a platform here ready to go with an administration center, it actually took over the zone without me actually doing anything, which was quite nice. Obviously, they still got the one above us, which is sat there at the moment, and there may be one's broken off there, which we haven't seen yet. As you can see, we've got an inactive jump gate and we've got a normal jump gate here. That normal jump gate leads into split territory. But there is a jump gate there that we haven't explored yet, which we do need to explore. Let's see if I can get... Have we got any small ships nearby? Most of our ships get taken out by the split for some odd reason. I'm not really sure why. It does look like we haven't got many ships in the area. That's not a problem. We have one here. You're busy at the moment. Are you available? I'd say, well, we'll launch this one here to hopefully get to that sector there. So I built a few scouts, and most of them have been taken out by reaching enemy territories. That's the Xenon shipyard there. That's a large shipyard, so that's going to be a target. We've also got one there for a large shipyard. So there's a lot that's happening. We've got Xenon territory here. We've got Thurka's Demise here, which we need to check out. Oh, we've got the Split trading station. But can we find ourselves a split? I'm hoping we can find ourselves a split shipyard, and hopefully these guys here will have some of the ships that I want, because if they do, then I don't need to worry about the other side of the split family, and we can just get what we need from that. I have also purchased a few more things, and if you look, I've actually stored some of my money in... Did I put it in my trading? Yeah, I did, my trading stake. If we go ahead and put this up here. So I've got about 70 million here. Now, I'm saving it up at the moment for the ship production facilities that we don't have at the moment. So if I head on over here.
Hello there. It's an honor to see you here.
Okay, so modules. So our next aim here is these ones down here. Where are we? We've got the small medium ship maintenance bay. That's going to be our next target. We can actually probably get that now, but it's not going to be built yet because that station is nowhere near being built. But it's these two here that we want. 66 million for the maintenance bay and 247 million. Our first target is going to be the XL ship fabrication bay, and then we've got the large one as well, 243 million. But we'll aim for the XL one because I think that'll bring us more money. And then we'll head for the large. So that's going to be the target
Good
for
luck out there.
The next kind of bit that we've got going. We've got another transport. Now, what I've been doing with these transports is I've actually been using them to manually move goods across. So we'll transfer over because it's got 3.6 million energy cells. This this solar power plant's actually making a fortune at the moment. So we'll go ahead and trade that there, and we'll take it to our trading station. Trade wars with. You can see we're getting quite a collection there, which is nice. So that'll give us that there. So that'll put that trading ship in that zone there. Now, the next thing I want to look at as well is some mining ships, some large mining ships, so I can get rid of some of the small ones. So basically what I'm planning on doing is getting an XL mining ship for each of our mining platforms we've got, and one for our HQ, and there's some other stuff we've done for the HQ which I'll come on to in a minute. And then I'm going to basically, now, I struggle to try and sell some of the ships, so if I can't sell them, I'm basically just going to send them into enemy territories and try and get them blown up, basically, just to clear some of our books. I'm not really sure why they won't sell. Maybe they won't accept them, but I'll look into that later down the line. We also see that we've got more ships moving around here as well. I've placed some of the mining ships on auto trade around this area here. One, so it'll open up this a little bit, but two, also just so we can get them last little bits of rep for the licenses and stuff, so we can buy the biggest ships. Now, back onto our HQ. What have we done with the HQ? Well, a logical overview. I have placed a few things on for trade: ice, ore, and silicon. I've also got some miners set up for here, so I took some miners from the old systems that we had, placed them onto here, giving it a bit of credits as well. It's holding 2.2 million at the moment because it's trying to get these advanced electronics, energy cells, nevidium, and plasma conductors. And there was one other it was trying to get as well, which took it off. We'll go ahead and we'll just accept that as no problem. The reason for that being is because I've been doing some research. Oh, it actually has done all the resources, which is fantastic. So it's almost got teleportation range 3. That means I can teleport anywhere where there's a friendly ship on the entire map. Wherever a jump gate reaches, I can reach when I teleport. There's also something coming in 4.0, so if you haven't done this already, make sure you do. And all you need to do is, if you go into it, you'll select it, start research. It'll tell you resources to get. If you set yourself with a couple of traders and some money in the bank, it will grab it all for you, as long as you've got storage available. I had to change the layout of the station. I head to, where's my HQ? There it is, Grand Exchange HQ. Plan build. You'll see, I basically just placed a liquid and a solid storage on there. It's got a little bit of, you know, bits and bobs on it there. It's not really special. There's nothing really special about this. And I don't particularly need this administrative center on this either. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to look at redesigning this station at some stage, because this station becomes pivotal in 4.0. If you haven't seen 4.0, I don't want to ruin it for you, but it does come into the end game side of things, so you need to invest a bit of time in it. Got plenty of points on it, so you can do stuff with it. I don't think you can. I think it is at the maximum size for the plot. Let's have a quick gander. I don't know if you can change the plot. I haven't actually tried that. Manage plots. Grand Exchange headquarters. Yeah, so it's at its maximum, so there's no way you can get it any bigger than that. So you've only really got that to play with, and most of the station takes up that. But there are things you can do, like going above and below it. So this will more than likely become a proper headquarters for us at some stage. But 4.0 is due soon. And as I say, that's going to play a pivotal role, and I'm going to let it just tick over for now until 4.0 releases, and then hopefully we can bring that in with the Terran fleet that we want to build as well. So that's what we've been up to whilst we've been waiting for our station to build. I keep having to pop on and obviously put more resources into these places. As you can see, the cost for construction, that's actually dropped down massively. That was at over 200 million and it's got over a 200 million expected operating budget because obviously it's trying to operate all them facilities. It's looking like it's starting to fill up with storage as well, which is nice. Yeah, we got food rations for our workers. We still not got anything else in there yet. I did try and build a ship. It looks like it actually... Did it build it? No, so it's still got it sat in construction. I was hoping by placing that in there, it may push it. It hasn't pushed it. So we may have to look at... We've got some trading ships already in it. But we may need to look at... Because it's still producing a lot of stuff for the... not the storage, for the build storage, as you can see here. Because it still needs a lot of stuff here, then I think that's what's stopping it from basically stocking up its main storage here. But the sooner this is produced and done, so we're going to let that tick over and not add to it just yet. And then when we come to add to it, hopefully the station will already be up and operational and it'll be self-sustaining basically. Or at least self-sustaining when in terms of taking resources from our metal factory here. This metal factory, as I say, is going to disappear and be somewhere else. I do have ships trying to clear up the rest of the reach. There's nothing much left in that area. That's kind of a nice dead end for us, but obviously with Argon being in the middle, we may need to look at something about taking over this at some stage. Our end goal at this stage is to basically secure the rest of Tharka's Cascade once we've got the fleet to do it. And we also want some more factories in the Morning Star system. Graphene is one, and Claytronics is another. The third thing that I want to do, and probably sooner rather than later, is to get the rest
It's an honor to see you here.
There we go. Is to get the rest of these modules here. Antimatter converters. The rest of the docks, just so we've got them available. We also want the large habitats as well. Medium habitats, sorry. Just in case we want smaller ones. We've also got the food ration production, drone components, all these kind of things here. All these things here will allow us to be able to produce our own, rather than relying on someone else to do it for us. And then we can consider pushing our luck with the Argon. Now, the Argon fleet is absolutely massive. Not to mention they're currently purchasing their fleets with us, so they're one of our main sales point of view for money profit.
You should find the teleporter now has a much larger range.
Fantastic. So we can actually teleport anywhere we want. So I'm currently sat on the shipyard here with the Loki Doomhammer Escort sat on dock. Now I can teleport anywhere I want. Like so.
Entering system. Tharka's Ravine.
There we go.
Discoverer. Vanguard.
We're now in Tharka's Ravine. Oh, it's so much more peaceful here without the station. That is useful in itself, because now if we get taken out, our escape teleportation will teleport us to any nearest ship. That's a good little in the bag escape plan. The something 4.0 does is it drops you into your spacesuit. I'm not sure how that's going to affect the mod that I use for that. However, that is a good little addition, because it was a terrible idea to have the game completely end once you died. There's so much that you've got here. If your ship blew up, you'd have an escape pod. And that's exactly what they've done. They drop you in your spacesuit, which is nice. But this ship here is wandering around. They've got a lot of trading stations here, but I'm not seeing any shipyards yet. Hopefully, oh, it's doing an explore, so let's just remove the explore. I don't like the explore side of things. I think it takes longer. I tend to just set my own little thing up like so. Okay, so we're still exploring, we're still expanding. We're now in the split territory. So if you don't have the split expansion, you won't see most of this. Some of the ships will be new to you. I will try and get some of them ships so we can show them off, or at least have the shipyard available, hopefully. Otherwise, we're going to have to work with the other faction to try and get it up. We're on -19. We're literally on the cusp of losing all communication with them, which means it's a lot harder to get the technologies that we want. That's going to be us for it. Now, there's a lot more that we've been doing in terms of background things like moving some ships around, moving some captains around, and putting new managers in, but I won't bore you with trying to explain where all them are. Just know that if you struggle to find out which station needs a captain, you do have an upkeep missions here. Generally anything with 2 missions will be manager. This isn't because it wants more subordinates. Which subordinate is it after? More trade ships. But if you check these here, these will tell you what you need. Why is that telling me? Not really sure. Okay, so that needs resource probes to make it easier. You can see here, look, there you go. Defense platform needs a manager. Wharf needs more cargo drones, and then transfer credits. Well, you don't need any credits because you create your own. So if you ever struggle to know which station needs a manager, that's the best way to do it. That's going to be it for this episode. Let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see something going on. Fair warning, this is going to move a lot quicker now. I'm going to try and bring out more episodes just to cover our prep and our expansion, because there's going to be a lot of expansion. Once we've got ourselves more self-sustaining, we're really going to start pushing these territories, especially these territories that are in grey. Here, these are ready for the taking, so we'll just drop a defense platform in there. I'm going to do a new defense platform design with some of our own building ships that we've got. My building ship, I actually have one. I bought one. I don't know where he is. Oh, there he is. Just sat there building this trading station. I'm going to build some more of them with a defense fleet to go with them, and then we'll go around and we'll stop dropping them in these zones that aren't occupied. From there, we can hopefully push an advance and see a lot of action. If you'd like to see something specific, like any ship designs or anything like that, or, you know, I could try and get the different faction ships. Bear in mind that sometimes it takes a long time to change the faction up, but hopefully we can do something like that. If you do like to see that, though, let me know in the comments section. But until next time, everybody, take care for now. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.